Pollution is everywhere. It comes from our cars, it comes from our outlets. It is bad for so many of us, bad for our health, and the justifications for it are slim. This is cultural violence. Cultural violence is when an indirect violent act is justified by a benefit to our society. However, there are often people who are taken advantage of or abused by said cultural violence. A primary justification for the use of fossil fuels is that in our world, so much of it is made out of plastic.
The things that we make out of what's coming out of the ground here boggles the mind.
Toothbrushes, crayons, heart valves, parachutes, antifreeze.
Vinyl records, cassette tapes, CDs, training shoes.
These everyday items are made from oil. The extraction of this resource and transformation into usable items causes pollution. Additionally, so much of our energy and industrial productivity comes from fossil fuels. Every time something is mailed or every time we turn on a light bulb, the majority of that energy comes from fossil fuels. Our world has become dependent on these polluting fuels in order to maintain a basic standard of living. The screen you are watching this on is most likely powered by a fuel source that causes so much damage to the world around it. Other countries' actions are often justified by burning fossil fuels in order to allow them to industrialize, a process which the United States and many Western nations did. These poorer nations are often said to need to be allowed to burn fossil fuels because they are quick, cheap, and easy. But this is not an excuse for countries like ours, where they are comparatively rich and has the means to transform away from such things. There are many great impacts that fossil fuels have. The first and most widely known is climate change. The release of greenhouse gases is slowly changing the climate of our world, and we are already seeing its effects.
This is an ABC News special report. Hurricane Harvey, state of emergency.
Hurricane Dorian, one of the strongest storms ever.
Hurricane Maria has made landfall on Puerto Rico.
Our weather is becoming more and more extreme and dangerous. These extreme weather events disproportionately affect poorer people. Their homes and houses are less likely to be built to sustain such heavy damage and hold on through the storm. Poorer countries close to the tropics, where hurricanes are most often, are ill-prepared and resourced to rebuild following a natural disaster. All because wealthy Western nations want to drive cars and have air conditioning. Fossil fuels and pollution also simply pollute the air, which is bad for people's health. It causes asthma and other lung-related illnesses. Young children are especially disadvantaged because asthma is much more likely to develop at a younger age. Their young are also much more vulnerable than adults are. Additionally, less economically advantaged people often live in areas that receive heavier pollution and have worse air. To compound on that, most of these people can ill afford proper care in the event that they develop such illnesses and diseases. Some countries across the globe have developed such bad smog as it to be poisonous. An extreme example is New Delhi in India, where the air is so bad it is equivalent to smoking 45 to 50 cigarettes a day. The health impact from pollution is dangerous and can be lethal. The health impacts and extreme weather are all justified by the economic needs of wealthier people. Fossil fuel pollution is currently a fact of life. We currently need it in order to maintain our economy and consumer lifestyle.